Live, deep in the heart of West Texas, it's the James Hendricks Show from the SIB, Superbity in Broadcasting. Guys, welcome to the Hendricks Center for Excellence in Conservative Federalism. I got to say this, okay? It's not always to the reactionary. And we're going to look for news stories that deal with that. Okay? Because I don't know about you, but how many of you are sick and tired? Fed up with reactionaries on both sides of the aisle? You tell me if you feel the same way that I do. I'm sure you do. So we're going to go to the Federalist. The first story is Senator Ron Johnson has some questions for the COVID gods. You know, I'm going to cover this just a little. Just a little. Ooh, looks like a podcast I could be interested in. Here in this episode, the Federalist Radio Hour, Republican Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin joins culture editor Emily Jasinski to discuss big tech censorship and how the Silicon Valley giants have assisted bureaucratic COVID gods in dictating the pandemic agenda since the beginning. Well, you know, I could have told you that. Now look, I'm not saying that the pandemic isn't real, okay? I'm not saying that the pandemic isn't real. But this Omicron variant, media on both sides of the aisle, give me a break. There's been some science research that this variant isn't as bad as any of the other variants. But yet, the news media, they use catchwords and phrase words to scare people. And the majority of people are like, you know what? No, I'm not doing this. I'm not taking this. Now, this is my firm belief. When it comes to the COVID vaccine, I've said this. Use prudence. You check with your doctor. Maybe on your individual case. Because, you know your body more than anybody. And I took the 2 Moderna vaccines. But I'm going to say this booster that they have out. When in doubt, don't. Unless your doctor that knows your specific case of your health issues advises you to do so. I have a best friend who feels like because of his diabetes, he has to take the booster. That's fine and good. But the federal government does not need to have anything to do with mandates. Nor should there be a continual discussion in the federal government about mandates. Okay, shut it down. Shut it down. Chip Roy, he said this on the House floor. And he was the only one gutsy and not mamby-pamby to say what needed to be said. Okay, J6 convict on TikTok. We're not going to cover that one. Following debacles in Iraq and Afghanistan, failed interventions, interventionists are now agitating for wars in Ukraine and Taiwan. Okay, I'm going to say this. I'm going to come out and say this, okay? If this is what Joe Biden is cruising for, guys, come on. This is old Cold War style politics. He's been in the Senate since when? From 73 to 2008? I'm sorry, but if I was someone that wanted to be in a political thing, I wouldn't want to be in the Senate that long. Shoot, I wouldn't want to be in the House that long. But you got these reactionaries that want power. Oh, let's spread ourselves thin. We screwed up already in Afghanistan. Let's go ahead and mess things up in Ukraine and Taiwan. Let's go stir things up, make people more scared. No. Stop it. It's about time that the American people grab the bull by the horns and get to the halls of Congress and say, hey, stop this nonsense. You can't tell me that this isn't old Cold War style politics. I know some of us want Trump back, and a part of me does too. But I also think that the halls of Congress need some new blood. How about some people in my generation, Gen X? Get some Gen Xers to say, hey, the Cold War is over. Let's use common sense. But Biden, who was born, we're in World War II. Pelosi, who was born around World War II. Kamala Harris, she was born in the Cold War. Kamala Harris, I'm sorry, shame on you. She should know better. Some say that Nancy Pelosi is the one that has all the power. I've always been under the impression that the Senate has a little bit more power than the House. And that the Congress has more power than the President. Okay? So let's move on. Lawmakers surprised by outcry against bipartisan bill to expand vaccine surveillances. Surprised? What planet are you on? Who are you listening to? you're so far caught up inside the Beltway on what's being said on Communist News Network, NPR, a whole list of liberal media. They think that they'll tell you, oh, everything's okay on our neck of the woods. Just everybody else needs to be scared. You guys are okay. No. You guys are not okay. This vaccine surveillance and mandate, stop it. Stop it. I have a friend that tells me that it's the mark of the beast, and I'm not going to get into a big theology debate here. Have my own opinion as to what that particular thing is, but that's not this show. The thing is that the lawmakers, the people in the Congress need to straighten up, wisen up. Some of them need to toughen up or go home. And echo with the American people saying, hey, this vaccine mandate, vaccine surveillance fixation stuff, stop it. Okay? Stop it. If you're on any side of the aisle, fixate on that crap, stop it. I'm serious. I'm not playing with you here, okay? This all COVID all the time stuff that's on the news is crazy. And some of this stuff, I don't see how it's oh, here's one. No, I promised that this would not be an all COVID all the time coverage. Okay? Guys, come on. Oh, Mark Meadows sues Pelosi's January 6th committee over witch hunt subpoena. Now that's real news. That's real news. A lot of this stuff is just recycled fluff. Recycled fluff, okay? Now, here's this. Former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows filed a lawsuit against House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and members of the lower chambers Select Committee January 6th, Wednesday. Meadows, who initially cooperated with the committee before pulling back, faces imminent contempt charges after the former President Trump chief failed to show for scheduled depositions. You know, I'm reminded of something that I heard with Star Trek. It's called a Drumhead trial. Speeches were being censored, appeals and freedoms denied, and those who were found guilty, according to that drumhead,